Hello. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. My name is Deborah O'Neill. I'm CEO and founder of BlissBee.me, Integrative Holistic Health. I'm a certified holistic practitioner. I work with in the area of advanced integrative energy healing. I'm a Himalayan yoga meditation instructor and initiate, and I work with limiting beliefs through the methodology of Psych-K, amongst other things. I'm a regular study in Healing Oil Collective Professional Series and also shamanic studies. So we've been walking through the emotional body, working with the internal intelligence and creating that inner knowingness, that felt sense within the body. All in conjunction while we're still doing our grounding and centering, aligning, and incorporating and regulating as needed, because that's our foundation. That's the place from which we can do the work. I wouldn't advise doing the work without having that in place. So by coming on here daily, it is my hope and my dream that it will help you to create some regularity in your life if you feel that this works for you. It's kind of just opening up to what's available to us to do our grounding daily. And that is a great jumping off point for being able to be in tune with our intuition. So if we're working from the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the lower deep diaphragmatic breath, and the grounding, centering, and aligning, and if we're noticing and we're aware that we're a little hypersensitive or we've got a little bit of a chest breath going on, then we want to incorporate the regulating with the feet or the hands. Good morning, Deepak. And we want to invite that into the nervous system with the breath. So this allows us to be in a place where we've got a greater knowing because we're grounded to Mother Earth, Father Sky. We're working within a centering and aligning, grounded positioning. This is where our intuition comes in. This is where our inner knowingness becomes developed. And if we're up here in this breath, that means that we're in some sense of survival mode. That means we're in some sense of trigger. We can have traumas in so many different ways. It's simply listening to the TV in today's day, at any day actually. And we can receive vicarious trauma from that. Just simply even by having that vibratory, that frequency in our homes, in your homes. I know that when my dad visits, the news has to be on 24/7 and it's on replay all the time. And it's really a difficult time for me. It's really an important time for me to make sure that I've stepped out of that environment where the TV room is, and then I'm re-nourishing myself within my own environments that work for me. Because then I can be comfortable with creating my boundaries and saying, I really appreciate this is important to you, but this is what works for me. And I hope that we can find, it's my intention, because with intuition becomes my ability to be more clear on my intentions as well. It's all fortifying and nourishing each kind. It's a cycle that's fortifying our nervous systems, your nervous systems. Good morning, Carl. So when we step into this intuition from this place that we've now developed, let's celebrate. I want you to celebrate because this is our jumping off point for moving into the fire of the body. The fire of the body, it's going to stoke our dreams. It's going to stoke our intuition. It's going to stoke our intentions. And it's going to allow you to step into, I get goosebumps just talking about it, because it's our will. It's our self-love. It's right next to the heart. As we move up into the heart region and into the etheric regions. So let's prepare with really stepping into what we've learned and working with that watery area of the emotions, so that we have now created that level of our field to support us in going into more of a mental field where we start to build our structure and put it out there for the universe to assist us in our creation. And speaking of that, I would love to know how you're doing working with your I phrase, and see if you found yourself to have more accountability, and see what that's kind of shifted for you, because what we are in here to do is observe and shift. Observe and shift, and observe and shift. So, and it's scientifically proven, whatever is observed shifts. So let's observe it and let's shift it on the evolution side as we're working with the involution work that allows us to make those witness decisions and stay out of the trigger, and just walk the edge of the vortex. So when we're putting our hands on our body and feeling that felt sense and having that communication, that is the working with the edges. It truly is working with the edges, and that's why it's so important. When we went through this watery section and we only dipped our toe in, so that I knew you would be in a safe place, but allow you to further experience that with you, and knowing that if you have any questions, I'm here. So let's take a look at how we can increase our vibration. So we did that by looking at the don't, not, and no. So when I'm saying I don't like this, or I don't want this, or I don't agree with this, or I'm not interested in doing this, or no, you can't have a candy, or no, you can't go out, or you see what I'm saying? So when my kids would ask me if they could have a candy after school, or if they could have something, I would say yes. Yeah, you sure can, but I'd like it, you'd have to wait till after dinner, or you can have it when you come home from school, or yes, let's do that, but today doesn't work. Let's make a date for tomorrow. Or I don't want to go to that restaurant. You know what? I said, instead of saying I don't want to go to that restaurant, I say I'm really leaning into some sushi or something. I'd rather have a fresh salad today because it's a hot day and I feel like something more cooling. So then we're getting people more involved in who we are as individuals, what's important to us. So they're more likely to say, hey, what are you feeling like today? And then it would be like, then we have a more open communication. We have the opportunity to rise each other's vibrations. So let's bring our feet into the floor while we're chatting. Well, I'm chatting. And allow that sensation. Bring in your sensories. And allow those tree roots to drop into the earth. Or those etheric feet. I always think of that Gumby character, from the 70s or 80s. And Gumby always had these Gumby feet. Right down into the earth. Right to that central core of the earth. To that crystalline core, that powerhouse, as we prepare to step into the powerhouse of us. Manipura, third chakra. We're going to work with the fire element within the mental of our biofield. A lot of things are being brought in just on the very tips of the iceberg. The truth of the iceberg is inside of us, our inner journey. Allow those to fall right to the center core of the earth. Now imagine all that beautiful Mother Earth energy coming up the same way it went down, coming into our legs. These beautiful tree trunks that allow us to be so grounded. And to this magnificent joint of the hips and the buttocks as it sits on the seat where you're seated, and those sit bones that allow us to feel so grounded in that seat. And into the full abdomen area, and into the chest and the heart, and opening the heart, washing over the shoulders, down the arms, and into the hands. really getting a sensation of those feelings that are in the body. If you've been doing it for a while, it should become a lot easier, and up into the throat, or maybe not, and into the head. And allow that to come out the seventh chakra, Sahasrara, and out, and allow it to cascade down the outside of the body. And feel that rhythm. If your deep diaphragmatic breath is not engaged, take this time to do that. Check out where your breath is. In the very beginning, when I first started to ground, I used to hold my breath. So I'd say, Deborah, breathe. I'd be like, oh, right. Too much on my mind. And then let's take this fine line from the hara, from the perineum, the center of the core of the earth, up through the spine. Allow us to center into this groundedness, because we can't go up here without being grounded here. The first chakra, the main safety, is connected to the top, because without the one, we can't go to 7. And as we work our way up the body, this allows us to get to here. Create the habit of getting here. Take a fine line, take that hara line straight up through the solar system into the galaxies and the cosmos. Straight line, no detours, and that fine line, allow that golden white light now to cascade down with a full intention for this white, golden white healing energy to enter our body, this divine source energy, creator, universe, higher self, right in through the body. Allow it to cascade down and fill every space in between every cell and touch every cell with this beautiful divine sparkle to allow us to emit our light even that much more brightly, and down into the hips and the legs and the feet. And allow these two energies to co-join. Feel this moment of these two energies within your vessel, within this beautiful organism that's filled with water. Now it's filled with light and it's bright. And let's think about how we're going to move forward. How are you going to move forward with these tips on working to create a higher vibration for yourself? I also did tap into the fact that I find that a lot of thought leaders and people in positions of influence are really stepping into higher levels of swearing, and I find that really curious. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that. And my thought is that it's for more inclusion. As the older, we've got a large older generation, and they're feeling maybe necessary to include swearing into, create some inclusion for the younger generation. I'm really not sure what it is, or maybe it's just their way of stepping into themselves in this moment in time. It doesn't have any criticism or judgment. I just question it. I just wonder why that by injecting an F-bomb or some other form of expression, it's my sense it's a lower vibration, and I could be entirely wrong. I could be out to lunch on this, but anyways, that's my position. So I certainly don't find myself being a part of that pool, and often when I am a part of that energy, I do feel saddened, and I do feel at times a little triggered because I don't like be calling, hey, whatever. Anyways, just my thoughts on moving forward and raising our vibration. Like, let's pick words of expression that allow that higher vibratory level and that frequency, so that we can play in that zone and get used to being in that zone, because it may have it may be outside of our comfort zone, your comfort zone, and it may seem untrue to you. And I want you to really question that with yourself. Is this my truth? Is this true to who I want to be in the path that I am going? Which direction does this expression take me? Yeah. So let's take that into our outro. And I invite you to create a beacon for yourself. And if there's any beacon, ask yourself, is this my truth? And, or what is my truth? You know, what is my vision? Where's my intention today? What is my intention today? That was one thing that I did when I first woke up this morning was, oh gosh, that good morning world. Thank you. Thank you for the blessings of this day. It's my intention to create magic in the world, with myself, with my family, with also those that I can touch. Please offer me guidance and support in my journey today, my intention. And that's as I'm doing my bed yoga. It's all part of my little ritual. Well, before I even swing my feet out, let's bring that deep diaphragmatic breath in and bring in our Soham. Inhale on the So, exhale on the Hum. Or like I said, you can create your own mantra. I enjoy the Soham because it's an ancient mantra. And when we call it in, we call in that frequency of all the people before us that have worked with this mantra. All the gurus and sages, seers. Our goal here is to one slow breath in, feeling the coolness, all the nostrils, on your nostrils, and the exhale, one smooth, slow breath out, feeling the warmth of the breath on the exhale. Inhaling this beautiful healing oxygen breath. Exhaling all the CO2 carbon and allow it to take all that does not serve the body with it. Setting our intention for the mantra. It's often in the yogic world called the resolve. Setting your resolve. I resolve to eat less sugar today. I resolve to, and input whatever works for you. Try the inhalation a little deeper. Try the exhalation a little longer. Smile. I invite you to stay seated in your meditation for a little longer today. card today, our offering. Be yourself, and you will warm people's hearts. Be yourself, and you will warm people's hearts. Yes, you will. I love you. Make it a great day.